He was deceived twice by a close friend, first in business and then with a position in Putin's army, and now he is already in captivity. Leonid from Volgograd openly admits he came to the war to earn money in order to pay off his debts. The young man has rather unusual logic. He somehow manages to claim both that he is ashamed to be a Russian soldier and that after an exchange he might return to the ranks of the occupiers as long as he isn't sent to the front line, because there, he says, he once went hungry for more than a week surviving on grass and collecting rainwater. Leonid's accomplice, also a contract soldier, the Dagestani Abdullah, was likewise captured in Zaporizhzhia. First, he was nearly killed by a strike drone, and then a reconnaissance drone led him straight to the positions of the Ukrainian defenders.
He came here to earn money.
To earn money, you ask?
No.
Why not just?
To pay off my debts.
How much debt did you have?
Around 900,000.
This wage earner living off Ukrainian blood, 23-year-old Leonid, a complete orphan from Volgograd, complains. First, his friend deceived him when they bought a herd of cows together to make money.
A friend suggested a business, buying cows to make money from selling milk. My buddy took the money and bought the cows, registering them in his own name. And in the end, I got nothing from the cows.
To pay off his debt, the resourceful Leonid decided to join the occupation army. That same cow business friend offered him a cushy position in Crimea for a bribe. And once again, what a surprise, he got scammed.
Through some of his contacts, he asked for 400,000 for a good position. I gave him the money, but ended up in the assault troops.
Idiot.
This is how 43-year-old Abdullah from Dagestan talks about himself, because he also voluntarily signed an army contract.
Drinking, family scandals, jobs just never really worked out, one after another, always leading to more trouble. I truly thought I'd just sit it out somehow, hoping things would eventually improve.
But sitting it out wasn't meant to be. The commander sent Abdullah on a meat assault. He hid in an abandoned house where our FPV drone paid a visit, and then a Mavic led him into captivity.
It flew in, and that was it. A minute later, I don't know when I opened my eyes. When I did, I saw clear sky above me. I look and see blood already flowing here and here. Ukrainian birds flew in, and that was it. I don't know how they spotted us. I kept saying, I can't do this anymore. I walked out and just went like this.
There were two of us. At first, we hid in the reeds for 8 days, almost without water, almost without food, collecting rainwater and eating grass. We spent 6 days in a drainage pit for water runoff, hiding from the FPV drones. We entered a destroyed house into a room that was still intact. I tried to take shelter there, seeking refuge from the ongoing conflict. While carefully camouflaging the entrance to conceal my presence, I was unexpectedly spotted by a vigilant Ukrainian soldier and subsequently captured.
Why aren't you looking up? Are you ashamed of something?
I am truly ashamed of the difficult situation I find myself in right now, so...
Are you ashamed of being a prisoner or of being an occupier?
Of being a soldier.
Of being a soldier?
Yes.
A Russian soldier? Why would that be the case?
War is absolutely profoundly wrong.
Did you come here voluntarily?
I came for the money.
What is the Russian army fighting for?
For the ideology of our country, truly.
What exactly is your ideology?
To always protect all of us, the people.
Your own people?
My own.
From whom or from what exactly?
I can't answer that question.
Currently, investigators and SBU counterintelligence officers are working with the prisoners. Abdullah just wants to go home, while Leonid wouldn't mind putting on the occupier's uniform again, as long as he isn't sent to the front line.
But if you were offered a decent position, for example, as a driver somewhere in the rear, would you take it?
I'd take driver job.
In the rear?
In the rear.
In the Russian army, tell me?
In the Russian army.
It's still an occupying army? So are you okay with being in it? But aren't you ashamed that you're an occupier? How do you put it all together in your head?
Andriy Bochash, Artem Dezhenkov, Windows Program STB. The only news.
The replenishment of the exchange fund. The soldiers of the 10th Edelweiss Brigade managed to film almost the entire process of a Russian being taken prisoner. Such a contactless method is not uncommon at the front. However, this case is unique because every movement of our soldiers and the enemies as well was recorded. Throughout the report, you will see a QR code on your screens. The unit's fighters are raising funds for a pickup truck. They will be grateful to all of us for donations toward this need. And now a spectacular and instructive story for the Russians from TSN correspondent Nelia Kowalska.
A field somewhere along the line of contact. At first it looks like a pile of garbage. Then the garbage starts to move.
Well, and these, I don't even know what to call them properly, worms basically started to move.
It turned out there were actually 2 occupiers there. Alexander Karpovich, he's 25 years old, and just a year ago he lived in Volynogorsk and wrote software for drilling rigs. He has a family.
He has a very small child, just 7 months old, a loving wife, and also a dear mother.
He played football and did wrestling. Then he robbed a local official, and instead of serving time, he chose to sign a contract. He even came up with a motive.
To take revenge for his cousin's brother.
The interview with the Russian was recorded a few hours after this video, where he folded his hands in prayer.
He opened up alone and started showing like, oh, don't kill me. Yeah, like, please don't kill me. You know, with very expressive gestures and all. The pilots, as they say, kind of, you could definitely say, softened up a bit, basically.
Well, actually, we had already approached with the Vogs, which are the Voice of God announcements, and we were getting completely ready to drop them, yeah. We were fully prepared for their deployment, and then we saw those hands, and basically, for me, it always works on the level of exchange funds. That is, every prisoner I capture, for example, is a chance to bring one of our defenders back home.
This is the Ukrainian drone operator with the call sign Lana. It was she who came up with the idea to try to take the enemy prisoner.
We're corresponding with him. We dropped him some water with a message, and he writes messages back to us. This is, of course, pretty cool. I've never seen anything like this before.
That's how she and her comrade wrote messages on a bottle of water.
He says, you write it, and I say, I can't because I don't write in Russian. I never learned that language. I can't write it.
My hands were already like this. I was already showing my hands like this. I surrender because they brought a bottle and it said, surrender, follow the drone, you will be helped.
The Russians receive the message, but apparently start arguing among themselves. Very little is known about the second occupier. 19 years old, call sign Frog. He didn't want to surrender.
Frog reported to the battalion commander that I was going to surrender, and they were already prepared. I hid under a bush and it hit 10 meters away.
The first note didn't help. I'm writing a second one.
Our pilots attach the second note to a grenade. The occupiers understand this hint better. Karpovich eventually does go after the drone. Frog stays in the field. What happened to Frog now? He's in the next world. How was he killed?
By airdropped munitions.
One chose a better path, and the other's ass started to smoke. When we do what we have to do, I also feel like I saved my infantry's lives, for example. But it's also a chance to bring one of ours back from captivity. And for me, that was really the main point.
Lana says she later watched the interview with the prisoner.
I didn't recognize him because on camera, well, obviously after someone has spent a certain amount of time in those conditions, and I thought he was about 50 years old. He was all filthy, and I thought he was already an older man, but here he is, a young guy, actually even older than me, and I was like...
He drank urine, made filters from clothes, and drank urine.
Karpovich is now preparing for the exchange, and even suspects what will happen afterward.
Well, I'll serve my time. How much do they give for that? They give from 10 to 15 years for treason. I'll serve my sentence and return to my daughter. My daughter will grow up. She'll understand.
He urges other fellow compatriots not to sign any contracts and has important advice for those who already have done so.
Surrender, lay down your arms, and leave the territory of Ukraine.
Nelly Kowalska, Mikhailo Putyata, TSN 1+1.